Alright, welcome back guys. Today's video is going to be on Community Update 6, the Signal Update, and patch 1.0.20. They've kind of double posted this one because this was like a pre-patch post on the 14th, saying that they were going to put it out on the 15th. But there is a little bit of stuff in here that's not in the actual patch notes, so we'll start with Community Update 6. So, here we go. Rejects. In today's community update, we'll discuss our first significant content drop for Darktide. Due to a technical issue we found when testing one of our weapons, we're targeting this update to arrive tomorrow, December 15th. We've been reading your comments on Steam, Fatshark forums, and Reddit, and acknowledge your request for more communication, transparency, and where we're at. Since launch, we have released a decent amount of updates and improved stability for many players, and we still recognize the need for more clarity in certain areas. Today's community update will focus on what this drop and with it patch, they wrote 10.0.20, it's supposed to be 1.0.20, will contain, as well as give insight into some of the key areas we're addressing. For future community updates, we aim to cover specific topics of concern that you have all brought to us to communicate how we intend to move forward with those areas of feedback. This is funny. I mean, I feel like they're doing a pretty good job of communicating, but I guess people don't feel like it. I don't know. Stability. First and foremost, we prioritize stability so you can all play the game uninterrupted. We've identified several critical issues and are working on fixing them to get there. I want to give you a look at what those priorities look like from our end. This is a partial list of every stability issue we are investigating, focusing on the most critical and frequent issues we have found. Actively investigating GPU-related crashes. Number one priority in tracking down and fixing. We continue to investigate this issue further with multiple teams in the studio. We aim to push fixes for this issue every patch. This upcoming patch should contain some fixes for these crashes, though we continue to monitor any further causes that could relate to the issue. So, personally, I've not had a terrible amount of crashes. Still every now and then, but nowhere near as much as it was before. So I feel like they've already done a great job on that. Penances are not updated when users disconnect or crash during missions. We are investigating this, though it may involve a more significant overall fix on how we track and record player penances in game. Yeah, sounds like it. Players receive error codes 4008 and 2007. We're still investigating what causes players to meet a 4008 during gameplay, but we've begun to deploy some fixes to help players avoid meeting error code 2007 in previous patches. Okay, so like what does that mean? Okay, maybe they do need better communication. Explain what these are. Don't just... Oh, 4008. Yeah, no. I know that one. Problems with Twitch drops and account connectivity with Twitch drops. We are still investigating this issue, and our backend team is currently looking into possible causes. Players reporting that no rewards or progression are given after mission completion, XP, or credits. This issue is possibly related to contracts not progressing, though is pending a solve as we keep digging into further potential causes. I had that as well. I wasn't making any progress on contracts. I think I had to reconnect to fix it. It's very annoying. Currently fixing contracts not progress for some players. This issue and found the root cause. The team is at work to implement fixes for the next update. Cool. Various penances work differently than expected. Oh yeah. We've made steps towards fixing this in patch 1.0.20 with the pick and mix penances, but it may require further fixes due to the number of penances in the game. Server crash kicking players error code 2001. We've identified the cause of this issue and are currently working on solves. Stuck in queue position 1. While we are actively monitoring this issue, we've noticed players continue to get stuck in queue position 1. Our network team is currently working on a solution to help players restart the queue should they find themselves stuck. Okay. And then the Commodore's Vestures. In patch 1.0.14, we removed the timer from the Commodore's Vestures, where players can purchase premium cosmetics via Guila packs. Our plan for the shop is to give players more time between rotation periods until we reach 3 screens worth of cosmetic bundles. The time will remain inactive until the first page is due to be rotated out with 24 hours remaining. It's important to note that the store is on rotation to give players some variety while at the same time not creating clutter. We feel that unlimited store pages are likely to create confusion and a bad user experience. Rest assured, the cosmetics are not gone forever and will likely reappear. So people don't agree with this. They're like, just show everything. Why are you making you rotate? The cynical opinion is that it's like, you know, fear of losing out, like that kind of marketing strategy. Like, because you know it's going away, maybe you won't be able to get it again. But then they say like they're not gone forever. They're going to come, will likely reappear. I don't know. Yeah, it's... If you want to be cynical, you can say this is scummy. If you want to be Also cynical, you could say this is just stupid. Maybe their market research has shown that if you give people too many options, they just don't want to buy anything. I don't know. I don't think it would bother me, but who knows? Content drop the signal. Okay, so from this point on, I'm just going to go read the actual patch notes because some stuff in here may have changed, and I'm not going to read both of these completely and try and pick through everything to see what's exactly not different between one day, you know, or exactly not the same. So let's see. Rejects for this full community update. Check the announcement made yesterday. That's what we were looking at. What are the patch notes for blah, 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 which just went live. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Okay. This drop introduces a new map, 2 new weapons, one for the Zealot, one for the Ogryn, the new refine option in the crafting menu, the inclusion of private games, and the addition of 1 new condition. So, in Complex 154/2F, it is up to you and your strike team to gain access to the Complex, get to the roof of HL 1924, archive them, and transmit a message to your allies in the Imperium. Alright. I haven't gotten a chance to play this one yet, and it's not showing up for a lot of people. Although I did see someone playing it last night on stream. So I know it's available. It's just maybe it's very rare. Seems weird. I feel like if you're going to add a new map, just make it so that map is always in the rotation. It's always an option, you know? And then the same thing for weapons. If you're going to add new weapons, make sure they're always showing up in the shop for people. Like if you're going to have the shop system, make it a little nicer so when you really want to try something out, you can actually get it. I feel like there should maybe at the very least be 1 variant of every possible weapon in the shop. Like maybe that's a simple fix, right? Anyway, 2 new weapons. The Indignotics Mark IV Each Crusher, a 2-handed power maul for Zealots, and the Ackless Mark I power maul, a 1-handed power maul for Ogryns. So I have seen Ogryns using this power maul, and I've seen some clips and stuff. It's a heavy stagger, seems like high single target damage. It might do good cleave, I don't know, I haven't tried it. But I just know it does like a ton of stagger. It's basically the way the Thunderhammer works. We can like charge it up and then you bash things around. Same kind of thing here. And for the Zealot Power Maul, it's also a lot like the Thunderhammer. The main difference is, and I think this is actually a really big advantage to the 200 Power Maul, is that when you do the power attack, you don't get the recoil. Because like with the Thunderhammer, like you power up and you hit and you bounce off, right? And you stun yourself in a way. The Maul doesn't do that. You bash them super hard and you just cleave straight through and you can keep comboing off of it. So it chains really nicely. The attack order is a bit weird though, because it starts like a heavy attack is like overhead, sideways. So that's fine, I guess, for headshots. And then the light attack is like 1 horizontal, 1 vertical, 1 diagonal, 1 horizontal. It's hard to get used to. The push attack is like a shove and then a right-handed uppercut, which is decent. It's got some cleave on it, but yeah, it's an interesting weapon. I think it can be really good. I think this is specifically really good at dealing with specialists or elites that are in the middle of a horde, because normally, like if you've got a rager sitting in a bunch of dudes, it's kind of hard to like pinpoint target him with your special attack. And this one kind of solves that sort of, because you just special attack through everything. It doesn't do as much damage as the other weapons, but still pretty neat. So I definitely want to try this weapon out more. I got 1 green version of it, and it was doing pretty well. So anyway, private play is now available when starting a mission from the mission board for strike teams of 2 to 4 players. Cool. Refine is now available in the Shrine of the Omnissiah. You can now choose to refine a single perk, which will lock other perks. Perks in the item card view will show their tier through a number of diamonds next to the perk ranging from 1 to 4. Okay, so that is a very nice change, by the way. It's similar to how blessings are, where they have the little lines next to them telling you like what tier it is. Now perks have that too. It's really good. The way this refine works is it doesn't refine it, it just replaces it. So if you have, say, like 10% damage to flak armored enemies, and you're like, I want to refine it. It can become like, ooh, now it does 4% crit chance, or 1 stamina, or whatever it is. It just completely re-rolls it into a different perk. And then I don't like that it's locking you out from doing other perks though. Like, why don't you just let people reroll all the perks, man? Just let people build the weapons they want. You don't have control over the rarity of the perk anyway. So like if you do if it's like a tier 3 and you re-roll it, I think it's pretty much just going to be a tier 3, but I'm actually not sure. I test it more. It might go down or up. It might become a 1 or a 4 or whatever, but just let people build the weapons they want and let people buy the weapons they want as well. Like, too much randomness going on. It makes the game too grindy. Anyway, each refined action taken on the perk will see a cost reduction for resources. So, because the perks lock each other out, I can kind of see why this is actually a cost reduction and not an increase. It's because if you're refining, you're supposed to be going for something specific you want, and this is just making it less of a pain in the ass to actually like keep re-rolling to try and find it, or to try and find like a higher tier, I guess, potentially, if it does work like that. So yeah, that's how that works. Now the cost, the initial cost, is based on the rarity of the weapon. So if you do it on a green weapon, it costs 55 plasteel. If you do it on a blue weapon, I think it costs 10 diamantine and 65 plasteel. And then if you do it on a golden weapon, I think it goes up to like 75 diamantine and maybe 150 plasteel. That's off the top of my head. But it means theoretically it would be cheaper resources wise to reroll low tier weapons and then upgrade them. But it would be more consistent to find a really good stat weapon, upgrade it all the way to gold, and then refine it. And it's going to be more expensive because you have more control over what the weapon is, because you could see all the perks and you could see the ones that you'd want to replace, right? That would be my suggestion. Wait till you find a good weapon, like a weapon that has good stats, like a good stat block, and then try and find like good perks and blessings. But remember that you can replace the blessing later, hopefully, and you can replace one of the perks. So as long as it has one perk, that's fine. The other one doesn't matter. You can just change it. A new condition, hunting rounds. Regics will have to fend off increased number of pox sounds. I haven't seen this one yet. Let's see. When a patch lands, that's also incredibly annoying, but I guess it's up to you if you want to play it. When a patch lands, there will be a short time frame, up to a couple hours, before new weapons, maps, currency packs drop into their respective systems. If we did it right away, it causes issues for players who are yet to have updated but are still running missions. Instead, we shut off the creation of out-of-date lobbies and coax people out of the game to update their clients. Once we meet a threshold, we can switch on those new bits and pieces. Okay, cool. General/quality of life. The chat window is now accessible on all loading screens and during the outro cinematic after a mission. You also have access to Strike Team chat channel in the Morningstar if you invite someone in your Strike Team while in the Morningstar. Cool. Very good, very good. The option to merge Strike Teams during the end of round screen has been temporarily removed while we approve this functionality. Added 2400 Aquila pack so cosmetic bundles can be purchased at face value. Very, very good. Good job, guys. An option to skip the intro cinematic has been added to the options menu. Ah! Oh, very good. We were just talking about that today. Because now you have to hold space to skip the thing instead of just hitting escape. So that's cool. I like that they changed that. They added a little option to skip it. Performance and stability. Fixed several cases that could generate GPU crashes. Fixed a bug where clients could get mismatching player loadouts from the server, which would cause a bunch of different crashes. Fixed a bug with fire projectiles, VFX crashing the game when the player leaves the game. Weird. Fixed an issue that could cause a client crash when using weapons while under the influence of various attack speed or reload speed buffs. Fixed various and numerous unspecified crashes. Cool. It's always my favorite one. Contracts and penances. Isolated and resolved a rare issue that could cause contract progression during a mission to be lost when the mission completes at the end of the round. An issue was detected in the penance pick and mix, where it could in some circumstances not be awarded as expected. I don't know what this one does. I'll have to look at it. Localization. New localizations have been added for several UI texts. Cool. Okay, so now for actual balance changes. This one's big. So weapons. Fixed an issue in the Psychanium where equipping weapons would sometimes disable weapon perks and blessings. That's a really bad one, so yeah, good job. Ogre and range weapons with melee special attacks can now change crosshair when using their special attacks. Fixed an issue where players could stay in ADS while using the bayonet with Lucius pattern lasguns. I thought that was intentional. Fixed an issue where players could stay in ADS while using special attack with the Actran Mark II heavy las pistol. And Zerona Mark II quick draw stub revolver. It does sound fun to be an ADS and then like pistol whip someone. Fix an issue where the Psyker could not use the Actran MG Mark II heavy last pistol weapon special while switching weapons. How the hell would you use a weapon special while switching weapons? It should not be possible to cancel a reload by using the weapon special on the Zerona Mark IIA quick draw stub revolver. Oh, it should now be possible. Okay, cool. So you can cancel your reload by just pistol whipping. That's good. Autoguns should now more reliably interrupt other actions when performing a weapon special attack. Fixed a bug where a weapon stagger and the control collateral stat didn't work as intended on weapons like Ripper Gun. Fixed an issue where players could use a special attack while ADSing with the Actran MG Mark II Levy Las Pistol. Okay, didn't we just read that one? We just read this one. Would stay in ADS, could use the special attack while ADSing. Alright, whatever. Fixed the bug where Flamer and Pregata Staff's secondary attacks would not damage enemies if the attack was too short. Okay? Alright, bug where special attack follow-up damage on Kazachan Mark III Combat Blade did not scale with damage stat. Oh. Ripper Gun's reload can be interrupted such that you can fire it without a magazine. Overheat only dissipated when having the weapon wielded. Ah, that's very annoying. Okay, tweak the bolt gun. Added equip variations and reworked original equip to make the equip animations less repetitive and frustrating. I actually think they should have kept the original. I like the new ones, but now they've like deleted one and added two in, which feel just as clunky, right? And they've gotten rid of the old one, but I mean, whatever, I guess it's fine. Fixed issues with snapping after unaiming while shooting. I don't know what snapping means. Fixed exploit where weapons swapping at the right time would result in a much faster reload. Okay. Tweaked Mark III Power Sword. Tune down cleave on power attacks from infinite to simply very big cleave, 8.5 to 12.5 cleave range, so around 10 enemies. Added damage fall off for targets beyond the third on heavy activated sweeps. Scales from 130 to 260 at targets 1, 2, and 3, down towards 50 to 100 at target 8 plus. Okay. Tweaked Lucius pattern las guns. I mean, everyone was saying the power sword is like the best thing ever, right? So maybe that was needed. Lucius pattern las gun. Tuned charging VFX to unblock view of shot. Pushed ADS FOV to 65 to clean up sight a bit. Okay. Increased time until force shot across all marks from 1 to 2.5 extra seconds after full charge. Increased time until force shot across all marks. 1 to 2.5 extra seconds after full charge. Oh, okay, so you get another extra second and a half to hold the charge. That's kind of nice. Decreased ammo consumption on fully charged shot. 9 to 6, 6 to 4, 12 to 9. Cool. Reduced charge time ranges when fully charged. So what Mark 1 was 1 to half second down to 8 to 0.4. 75, 35, 65, 25, 1.25, 65, 1.5. So not massive, but you'll notice it. You know, quarter of a second, 20% of a second, 10% of a second. I mean, you won't notice this at all. You won't fucking notice that, but you will notice this one, and you'll notice this one. Reduce chain time for Mark III bayonet slash from 0.5 to 0.3 like a normal melee sweep. Okay. Increase damage versus armored and resistance on low charge near far. What the fuck does this mean? Increase damage versus armored and resistance on low charge near slash far from 40-50 to 50-60. So now damage versus armored and resistance on low charge at far range is 60%. I have no idea what this means at all. Anyway, increased minimum charge scalar for Mark II charge shot from 30 to 40% power. They just buffed the hell out of this thing, didn't they? Reduce suppression sway, reduce baseline sway. Hooray! It does more damage, charges faster, uses less ammo, has a better sight. You can hold the charge longer and everything's better. Okay. Tweaked M35 Magnacore Mark II plasma gun. Okay, so clip size range from 75 150 to 60 100. Okay, nerf. Still one clip in reserve with matching adjustment. Nerf. Improved vent durations. Both active venting is now 3 seconds down from 4, and passive venting 15 down from 20. So that's nice. Adjusted vent speed curves over thresholds and lowered high threshold to 60 down from 70. I don't know what that means. I guess it means like how quickly the thing vents based on how much overheat you have going. Timescales of venting are now low 80, high 50, critical 25. Was 50, 100, 25, so now it's 80, 50, 25. Okay. So low is 80, it's defined as 80 and not 50? High is 50. I don't know, whatever. Retune vent damage to a I don't have the plasma gun, so I can't translate this into anything. Retune vent damage to a player. It should be in the same ballpark, but scaled more aggressively, so lower overcharge gives less damage. Okay. Allowed heavy charged shots to continue after shooting through geometry. Entry and exit both create explosions. Tweaks Zerona Mark II quick draw stub revolver. Increased ammo reserve from 2540 to 3570. Oh my god, 70. That is a high ammo roll. Increased far range from 23 to 35. Increased high end of base damage range from 200 to 400 from 200 to 350. Cool. Increased hit scan range to fix issues where no hits would be detected at very long ranges. Yup. So that's really nice. That's cool. I think this specifically means that the range at which you start getting damage fall off because you're at long range is now 35 instead of 23, which is a 50% increase. So that's pretty good. So it'll maintain its damage at longer ranges. Tweaked Drax Mark III and Mark 7 and Agrippina Mark 8 Headhunter autoguns. I think these are all the single shot autoguns. I know this one is for sure. Reduced recoil vertical rise on all Headhunter autoguns. Increased damage. So the Mark 3 70 140 to 80 160. So 10 to 20 increase. This got a 20 to 40 increase. This got a 15 to 30 increase. Okay, cool. So these are kind of like battle rifles. I think these are like the single shot. Yeah, these are like battle rifles. They're actually pretty good. You should give them a try. Tweaked Turtulski Mark 6, Mark 7, and Mark 9 heavy swords. I hate the heavy sword. Increased baseline damage armor mod versus flak 30 to 50, infested 75 to 100 on light attacks. I'm noticing with infested, they're actually trying to increase damage across the board. And they should, because it's just poxwalkers, right? Increased baseline impact armor mod versus flex. So this is 50, 75. Impact armor mod. Damage armor mod. I think this might mean stagger. Maniacs 50, 75 and Carapace 50, 75 on light attacks. Horizontal light attack damage from 25, 50 to 35, 70. Adjusted target follow to match. I don't know what that means. Just a diagonal 35, 70 to 40, 80. Okay, adjusted target follow to match. Cool. So they're trying to buff this thing versus armor types and give it more damage. Cool. Alright, so the Thunderhammer, I'm going to read it because I was excited about it. Unfortunately, these changes slipped through the net and will come in the next update. Sorry for the disappointment. The Crucis Mark II Thunderhammer. So this didn't happen, but it was supposed to happen. Increased light attack baseline armor mod versus flak from 75 to 90. And Carapace from 1 to 25. Yeah, guys, the Thunderhammer did 1% damage to Carapace armor. So now it'll do 25 someday. Increased heavy attack, same thing. Except the heavy attack was 20% and now it's 25, or will be 25%. Fixed a bug where Thunderhammer was missing weapon special activate chain from block. Okay. It's an issue where Lucius pattern las guns were ignoring shoot input after getting stunned in ADS. Fixed a bug where you could initiate weapon special from the push action. Fixed for all heavy swords and tactical axes. Fixed a bug where animation was snapping when unaiming right after shooting on lasguns and shotgun. Animation was snapping when unaiming. I don't know what that means. Fixed a bug where the Krork Mark V twin-linked heavy stubber where primary fire didn't buffer properly from wheeled, leaving brace, and sliding. I don't know what fire buffering means. I mean, all these changes are great, you know, obviously, like, make stuff better, but, like, you need to kind of explain what the hell buffer means. You know, what chain means exactly here. Because I'm thinking what it means is I block and I immediately overcharge, right? Hopefully that's what that means. You need to explain what target follow means. You need to explain, like, exactly what this means. I think I know what this means, but, you know, explain it. Anyway. Combat. Fixed an issue where Zealot's Preacher ability, Chastise the Wicked, could get interrupted if used while having been pushed by enemy attacks. Cool. Fixed issue where Psyconnect's Inner Tranquility talent caused slower quell speeds. Ooh, yuck. Fixed a bug where being hit while lugging disabled coherency, toughness, regen for 100 seconds or until hit again. Improved precision smart targeting. Don't know what this means. Fixed a bug where you couldn't perform heavy attacks while with the Obscurus Mark II Blade Force Sword whilst holding sprint. So on this topic, they really need to make it more fluid when you're attacking out of sprint. Because I hate that you can only do the first attack in a chain out of sprint. And it allow you to start comboing. So like, let's say I'm running around with the Eviscerator, right? And I want to like do 2 attacks in a row while sprinting. He does the overhead. And if you click again real fast, like you normally would to do the second attack, he just kind of goes, and then nothing happens. And you go back into the first attack again. And it just feels so clunky to like, you started the attack and then it canceled itself. And it's very predictable. Like it works this way every single time. Like you cannot combo out of a sprint attack if you are still sprinting. Like you have to be sprinting, start the attack, stop sprinting, and then you can combo. And that works fluidly. But if you just let you combo while you're sprinting, like what's the problem, you know? It already costs you stamina to sprint. Anyway, make sure all attacks and start actions can be used with sprint. Alright. Fixed issue where Zealot Preacher would dash through enemies if they were too close. Alright. A fixed issue where some pickups could not be interacted with due to being inside collision. That was a massive issue when it came to trying to find scriptures. Sometimes they'd just be in the dust. You could see them and you couldn't touch them. Enemies fixed some issues where the Poxhound could launch into the stratosphere. Fixed some Trader Guard helmets and armors which depicted 4 instead of 6. That's funny. Alright, missions. Move the spawn point of Demon Host from respawn location and Power Matrix mission. Fix some diamantine that couldn't be picked up in Excise Vault Spireside 13. Fix an area where players could leave the play area in Enclave and Boros. Fix a spot on Enclave and Boros where players could stand and be out of reach from melee heretics. Fix an issue where a horde could spawn next to the players in the end event in the Consignment Yard HL 1736 mission. Okay. Fix a spot where players could get stuck on HL 1736 Smelter Complex. Fix a bug where enemies were spawning in plain sight in Consignment Yard HL 1736 end event. This happens all the time. Why are they resolving individual bugs? This is just how the game works. Fix an issue where players could enter a soft lock state in the prologue. Maybe it's not supposed to work this way, but it works this way so often that I'm just assuming like, it doesn't matter. Like, they spawn anywhere. That's what it feels like. And it's very frustrating sometimes. There should just be a rule where they can't spawn if you're staring at them. Maybe that would be abusable, but, you know, whatever. Fix an issue where the Valkyrie would arrive silently during the end event in Enclave and Boros. Fix a scripture that could be picked up in Refinery Delta 17. Fix an issue where monstrosities could not reach the players in Refinery Delta 17. Fix a soft lock that can occur on levels with airlocks should a player join a mission whilst the airlock is closing. Fix a spot on Enclave and Boros where enemies could walk through walls. Fix a spot on HL 1736 Smelter Complex where players could respawn behind a drop down, rendering them unrescuable. It's funny. Fixed an issue where players joining midway through HL1611 Chasm Station could spawn in behind a now closed door. Fixed an issue where one of the rim wires could not be collected on Chasm Lodge's Stratum. Fixed an issue. Is that the one that spawns underneath the locker? There's one that spawns underneath the locker, and it's hilarious because you can't see it. You can only see the glow, but you can target it through the model and still pick it up. I lost my place. Okay, another one where they did it on HL1736 Smelter Complex, another Grimoire spot. Fixed a railing on HL1736 Consignment Yard that was a missing collision. I've seen that one. You now reach the penance menu by interacting with the newly added interaction spot in the hub. Is that the lady with all the scrolls? I didn't see that. I haven't found that yet. I'm going to look for that. That sounds cool. Fixed a bug in the Psychanium where unequipping a weapon with a trait perk makes the other equipped weapon's trait perks not work. Okay. You mentioned that earlier, didn't they? Fix a spot where players could get stuck on HL1736 Power Matrix. Fix the issue where players could be thrown into an inaccessible area by a mutant on HL1736 Smelter Complex. Tweaked timing and added a few elites to the end event and Enclave and Burrows mission. Yay! Fixed an NPC shooting without a gun on the prologue. Finger guns! That's funny. SFX, VFX animation. Auspex scan targets should no longer remain outlined after completing a scan. Fixed an issue where the animation didn't match the duration of stun when hitting a target with Thunderhammer's special ability. Tighten up animations for the Lock Mark 2B Spearhead bolt gun when aiming after sprinting. Okay. Ogre should no longer clip through the floor of the Morningstar. Fixed some animation issues on the Ripper Gun special attack. Ragdolls created by the Blastoon Mark III Grenadier Gauntlet should feel more satisfying now. Yay. Fixed a bug where the wrong VFX was being used for torso gibs. Force Sword Weapon Special now creates a larger visual blast on damaging and killing heretics. Fixed various sound issues on various missions, certain happenings not having sounds, audio imbalances, early cutoffs, missing music, etc. Alright, we're almost done, guys. Let's see. By the way, if you like this stuff, I recorded it live on Twitch. Check me out, Mr. TV. Where the hell was I? Oh yeah. Fixed cases where dodge sounds were not reliably played for other players or bots. Fixed excessive camera shake when cleaving through enemies on specific attacks on Tactical Axis, Power Sword, and Eviscerator. Well, I turned off camera shake, so I don't care. The Nominous Mark VI Surge Force Staff has had its VFX buffed to feel more impactful. How do you buff a visual effect? Fixed a bug where wrong starting animation was used on the second right start action on Mark IX Heavy Sword. Now it matches the horizontal right attack. Fixed a bug where sound proximity was based on average position instead of the local player's position, so enemy units were not making any sound. Character customization. Fixed various issues with cosmetics, clipping, etc. Resolved an issue where selecting blind eye options would remove the information about the Cadia homeworld restriction during the character creation screens. Fixed an issue where the Psyker convict upper body garb for the crime of misplaced faith may disappear from the inventory view. It was never removed from your inventory, but may have appeared to be no longer be present. I had that bug, actually. Resolved an issue where restrictions on items would disappear when viewing an item in the Commodore's vestures. Fixed an issue with an Ogren mustache that only appeared during cutscenes or when observed within kissing distance. Note, do not kiss the Ogren. That's fucking hilarious. He's got a stealth mustache. That's so cool. UI UX added texture quality settings back to the settings menu. Was that not on there? What? Added mesh quality LED distance slider to the settings menu. Oh my god, thank you. You can just make things look like garbage now. I love it. Fixed a bug where the contract stat not affecting stagger duration, where the control stat not affecting stagger duration on the Ripper gun. I'm sorry, guys, my eyes are glazing over. Crosshairs are now consistent across weapon phases. Cool. Fixed an issue where the outline of one of the Auspex scan targets in the Hab Draco mission, where it what? Where the outline of one of the Auspex... Okay, they didn't finish their thought there. Several UI and UX adjustments have been made surrounding the weapon cards, including a hover item inspect in inventory loadouts, as well as now showing the item level for curios in loadout and its detail card. I'll read that one more time. Several UI and UX adjustments have been made surrounding the weapon cards, including a hover item inspect in inventory loadouts, as well as now showing the item level for curios in loadout and its detail card. I didn't notice any difference, honestly, but great. Now displaying the cosmetic weapon skins and clothes as owned when viewing them in the armor exchange. That's a good thing. The ossuary charm weapon trinket has been flipped so it can be seen in the trinket preview within the weapon customization panel. Weapon traits that require multiple hits now have clear descriptions. Didn't they already change that? You can no longer discard multiple items by holding down the discard key action. Just like, delete your whole inventory. I fixed the situation where the taskbar could still appear when switching to borderless window. Good. Engine. Multiple fixes to prevent GPU hangs. Fixes to address network disconnects. Ray tracing now works on AMD RX 6/7000 cards. Visual glitches around weapons and in levels for users of AMD cards have been fixed. Fixed a crash that sometimes happened to players after watching a video cutscene. Alright, we got through it. Thank you for watching. Jesus Christ, what a patch. That took a long time. If you sat all the way through this whole thing, and it's been 37 minutes, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'm not going to ask for a like and subscribe, because you'd know by now, wouldn't you? But yes, check me out on Twitch, Mr. Rip TV. That's where I recorded this. Alright guys, check the playlist at the end, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.